What's up everybody and welcome to class. My name's Ollie and welcome to this all levels vinyasa flow. So nothing too crazy today guys, we're just going to be working with the breath, moving the body and really trying to get into some of those more rigid areas like the hips, the lower back and the hamstrings. So if that sounds good to you, we're just going to go right ahead and get started today in a child's pose. So let's find our way into that child's pose position. Bringing the big toes together, the knees apart, sink the hips back down to the heels, walk the hands forward slightly, and then gently rest the forehead down to the ground. Close down the eyes for a moment. As we just take a minute or so here to fully arrive on our yoga mats before we start to move our bodies. Bring your attention towards the breath. Seal the lips and begin to establish a nice steady rhythm of breath. The oxygen flows in on the inhales and the carbon dioxide moves out on the exhales. Maybe you can feel the belly expand and press into the inner thighs as that oxygen pulls in deep. And then as you exhale, can you relax your lower back and your hips, just allowing the belly to sink deeper down towards the ground. If you want to set an intention for your class today, feel free to do so. Maybe there's something you're trying to let go of. Maybe there's something deeply personal you're trying to work towards. Now keeping the forehead close to the ground, slowly start to walk your hands over to the left side of the yoga mat, and then maybe place the right hand on top of the left. As we make our way into a gentle side bend here, subtly just pulling that right hip back, reaching that right shoulder forwards, and breathing into that right lung. Take one more deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, walk the hands over to the opposite sides of the yoga mat. Maybe place that left hand on top of the right hand. Just gently pulling that left hip back and breathing into that left side body. Give it one last little squeeze, one last inhale. And then exhale, walk the hands back to center. Maybe blink open the eyes if you had them closed, and let's find our way into a tabletop position. So hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. And then straight away on your next inhale, begin to drop the belly, find your way into a cow pose. The inner elbows draw forwards, the triceps wrap back. Feel that backward bend. And then exhale, round the back, push into the hands for a cat pose. And then inhale, drop the belly, find your way back into a cow. Exhale, round the back, push into the hands, tuck the chin to the chest. And then inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the back. And then find your way back into a neutral table. Step the right foot to the back of the yoga mat. reach the left hand forwards, and then maybe float the right foot off the ground as well, just keeping those toes pointing down towards the ground. Take one more inhale. Exhale, set the left hand down, the right knee down. Step the left foot back. Shift the weight into the left hand and reach that right hand forwards. And if it feels right to you, float the left foot off the ground. Leveling off through those hips and really reaching those right fingertips forwards. Take one more inhale there. Exhale, release down. Tuck the toes under, and then find your way into a downward facing dog by sending those hips to the sky, dropping the head between the shoulders. Just take a few moments here to move around. Maybe pedal out the heels left and right as we gradually work into those hamstrings. Keeping that breath, channeling in and out through the nose. Slow down any movement. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Push through those shoulders. Reach the hips back. Let the heels be heavy. Take an inhale. And then exhale, walk the feet forwards in between the hands. If you need to keep the knees bent to bring the hands all the way down to the ground, feel free to do so. And then on your next inhale, we're going to lift the chest, come up halfway, either coming onto the fingertips or bringing the hands to the shins beneath the knees. So we extend through the vertebrae, reaching that spine forwards. And then exhale, release down, forward fold. Inhale, lift it up. And then exhale, forward fold. One more time, inhale, lift the chest up halfway, flat back. And then exhale, release. Put a slight bend in those knees. And then inhale, circle the hands all the way up to the sky. Maybe the palms touch. And then exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Inhale, reach them up. Urdhva Hardasana. And then exhale, hands down to heart center, Tadasana. Inhale, circle those hands up to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold, release the hands all the way down. Inhale, lift the chest up halfway. And then exhale, step the left foot to the back of the yoga mat, drop the left knee down to the ground, untuck the left toes. Sink the hips nice and low, and then inhale, reach the hands up to the sky for a low lunge position. With each inhale, just finding a bit more length, reaching that spine a little bit taller, sinking those hips a little bit lower. Really try to breathe into that left hip flexor, the front side of the left leg. Take one more inhale, reach up. And then exhale, release the hands down to the ground to frame the right foot. And then straighten the right leg, digging that right heel into the ground, pointing the right toes towards you. And then gently pulling those hips back as we make our way into a half splits position. Take one more inhale here, breathe into that right hamstring. And then exhale, rebend the right knee for a low lunge position. Now we're going to flow through a few more rounds of lows. So take an inhale here. And then exhale, straighten the right leg. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, low lunge, maybe the hands come to the sky. And then exhale, straighten, maybe the hands come back. Inhale, reach, bend the right knee. Exhale, flow, straighten the right leg. One more time, inhale, come back up. And then exhale, straighten for that half splits position. And then inhale, rebend the right knee. Tuck the left toes under. And then lift the left knee off the ground and step the left foot forwards about 1 foot or so, keeping the hands down on the ground, framing the right foot. And then rotate the left toes so they point to the left corner of the yoga mat for a triangle pose. And what we want to do here is straighten both of those legs whilst keeping the heels down on the ground. So if that left heel isn't on the floor, just step the left foot forwards until you can bring that left foot completely flat. And then once you have that position, gently reach the hips back and forward fold over the right leg. Take one more inhale here, and then shift forwards into the right foot, bend the right knee, keep the hands on the ground and float the left leg up to the sky, keeping the toes pointing down towards the ground. Take an inhale, pull that left heel back, and then exhale, step the left foot forwards to meet the right for a forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, circle those hands all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, take the plunge. Inhale, flood the lungs. And then exhale, step the right foot back, drop the right knee down to the ground, untuck the right toes, sink the hips low. And then inhale, float the hands up to the sky. The palms face each other. Those hands reaching up to the sky, the hips sinking low to the ground. Breathing into that right hip flexor. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, hands down to frame the left foot. Straighten the left leg. Point the toes towards you. And then fold forwards over that left shin. Trying to keep those hips neutral, digging that left heel into the ground, breathing into the back of that left leg. And then rebend the left knee, keep the hands on the ground for now. As we flow between those two poses, take an inhale here in this low lunge position. And then exhale, straighten the left leg. Inhale, low lunge, option to float the hands up. And then exhale, half splits. Inhale, bend and reach. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, straighten. One more time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down to the ground if you had them lifted. Tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee off the ground, and then step that right foot forwards until you find your triangle pose, keeping both heels on the ground. Folding forwards, gently pulling that left hip back. Take one more inhale there. Shift the weight forwards into the left foot. And then float that right leg up to the sky, keeping those fingertips on the floor. And then exhale, right foot forwards to meet the left foot. Inhale, lift up halfway. And then exhale, step back into a plank pose. Lower down on the same breath. Untuck the toes, and then inhale, lift the chest for a cobra. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Reach the toes back. Allow the heart to draw forwards between the shoulders. And then on your next exhale, send the hips to the sky for a downward facing dog. Take a huge inhale through the nose. And then exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Okay, nice work everybody. On the next inhale, we're going to float the right leg up to the sky for a three-legged dog. Don't worry too much about height here. Just try and keep that right leg as straight as you can. Give it one last inhale. And then exhale, draw the right knee to the chest. Place the foot in between the hands. Keep the left leg lifted, balancing on the left toes. A slight bend in the left knee. Establish that foundation within the legs. And then inhale, float the hands up to the sky for a crescent pose. So just like we did in that low lunge, we're sinking the hips low, finding length through the spine. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, drop the left heel down to the ground. Warrior two, hands to shoulder height. The left toes pointing forward slightly. Bend the right knee above the right heel. Gaze comes over the right middle finger. And then inhale, reverse the warrior. So reach the left hand down to the left leg. Right fingertips up and over the head. Breathe into that right side body. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, bring the right forearm down on top of the right thigh. Right palm facing to the sky. Left fingertips reach up. Take an inhale there. Maybe reach the left hand forwards. And then inhale, we're going to come back up to a reverse warrior. So reach the right hand up and back. And then exhale, hands down to frame the right foot. Step the right foot back to meet the left, so you're in a plank pose. And then either keeping the knees lifted or dropping the knees down to the ground, you're going to bend the arms and slowly lower to the floor. Untuck the toes and lift the chest for a cobra, maybe an upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Same thing on the opposite side, left leg floats up to the sky. And then exhale, left knee to chest, place the foot between the hands. Now find that foundation within the legs, keeping the right knee lifted off the floor. And then inhale, float the hands up to the sky, crescent pose. Try and keep those hips neutral, so both hips are facing forwards, fingertips reaching up to the sky. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, drop the right heel down to the ground. Warrior two. Gaze comes over that left middle finger. Sink those hips nice and low. Then on your next inhale, reverse the warrior. Breathe into that left side body, sink that left hip low. And then exhale, side angle pose. Left forearm on top of left thigh. Right hand reaches up to the sky. Take an inhale, really pull that hand up. Pull the shoulder back slightly and reach the right hand forwards to your own degree. On your next inhale, reverse the warrior. And then exhale, hands down to frame the left foot. Step the left foot back on the inhale. And then exhale, lower down to the ground. Inhale, your choice, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, send the hips to the sky. Okay, so we took the time there to establish the poses, figure out our alignments and our foundations. But now we're going to move through that same sequence, connecting breath to movement. So one breath, one movement. I might even throw in a couple of extra poses as well. We'll see. So on your next inhale, right leg floats up to the sky. And then exhale, right knee to chest. Place the foot between the hands. And then inhale, float the hands up to the sky for a crescent pose. Exhale, plug the left heel, warrior two. And this time, as you inhale, straighten the right leg, reach the hands up, palms touch. Exhale, rebend the right knee, come into a warrior two position. And then inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, side angle pose. Right forearm to right thigh. And then inhale, come back into the reverse warrior. Exhale, hands all the way down to the ground. Step the right foot back on the inhale. And then exhale, lower down to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, send the hips to the sky. Keeping it moving, inhale, left leg floats up. Exhale, left knee to chest, place the foot between the hands. Inhale, hands float up to the sky, crescent pose. Exhale, warrior two, hands to shoulder height. Inhale, straighten the left leg, reach the hands up, palms touch. And then exhale, come back into the warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, side angle pose. Inhale, reverse the warrior one more time. And then exhale, hands down to the floor. Inhale, step the left foot back. Bend the arms, lower down. And then inhale, lift the chest, heart draws forwards. Exhale, send those hips to the sky. Let's do that sequence one more time. So inhale, right leg floats up. Exhale, right foot forwards. Inhale, crescent pose, hands to the sky. Exhale, warrior two, bend the right knee to right thigh. As you inhale, straighten the right leg, reach the hands up, palms touch. Exhale, rebend the right knee, come into a warrior two position. Inhale, reverse the warrior, breathe into that right lung. Exhale, side angle pose, sink. And reach the left hand forwards. Inhale, reverse the warrior. And then exhale, hands down to the floor. Inhale, step the right foot back. Exhale, bend the arms. Inhale, lift it up. And then exhale, send the hips to the sky. Inhale, left leg floats up. Exhale, left foot forwards. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the left leg, reach the hands up. And then exhale, hands down, warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior. And then exhale, side angle pose, left forearm to left thigh. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, hands down to the floor. Step the left foot back as you inhale. Exhale, bend the arms, lower all the way down to the ground, untuck the toes. Hold here. Bring the elbows beneath the shoulders for a Sphinx pose. Forearms parallel to each other, fingers facing forwards. Reach the toes back. And then imagine pulling the skin of your forearms backwards as your heart slips forwards through the gateways of your shoulders as you deepen into this back bend position. Keep those glutes engaged to keep the lower back safe. And if you want to go even deeper, straighten the arms, push into the palms, lock out the elbows for a seal pose. Just make sure that you're really squeezing those bum cheeks together to keep the glutes engaged. Take one more inhale there, wherever you are. And then exhale, lower everything down to the ground. Bring the hands beneath the shoulders. And then we're going to send the hips back for that child's pose position. Just like how we were at the start of practice. Big toes together, knees apart. Rest the forehead down to the ground. Come back to the breath. Come back to your intention. Notice any changes within the body. Notice how the body feels. Hopefully it's starting to feel a bit more open, a bit more alive. And then from this child's pose, we're going to push back into a tabletop, walk the knees forwards, cross the feet behind you, drop the hips down to the ground, and then we're going to bring the feet together so the soles of the feet connect, and then grab onto the toes, maybe interlace the fingers in between the toes, take a deep inhale, lift that chest up, and then exhale, just gently begin to fold forwards, trying to bring those elbows down to the ground in front of the shins. For what we call a butterfly pose in yoga. Maybe close down the eyes for a moment. Really try to relax those hips. If you had the eyes closed, blink them open. And then slowly make your way out of the pose. Bring the knees together using the assistance of the hands. And then we're going to find our way down onto our backs. So in your own time, in your own way, make your way down onto the floor. Draw the knees into the belly. Then we're going to take that left foot, cross it on top of the right thigh, reach the hands through and grab hold of the right shin. So make our way into a figure four position, either keeping the head lifted or resting the head down to the ground. Keep the left toes flexed so the left toes are pointing towards the left knee. And gently start to pull that right leg towards your belly as you give the outside of the left leg, the left hip flexor, the left glutes, a deep stretch. Let's give that one last little squeeze. And then keeping the legs in this position, let go of the right shin, release the right foot down to the ground, extend the left hand over to the left, place the right hand on top of the left foot, and then gently begin to twist over to the right as you bring that left foot down to the ground or as close to the floor as you can. Trying to keep that left shoulder glued to the floor for a supine twist. And then come back to center. Bring the knees back into the chest, grab hold of the shins, give yourself a squeeze, take an inhale. And then exhale, cross the right foot on top of the left thigh. Reach the hands through, grab hold of the left shin. And either keeping the head lifted or dropping the head down to the ground, gently pull that right leg towards you. Take one more inhale, give it one last deep squeeze, and then release the hands, drop the left foot down to the ground, extend the right hand over to the right shoulder to the floor, and then slowly drop the right foot down to the left for that supine twist on the opposite sides. Slowly make your way back to center. Draw the knees into the belly, grab hold of the shins, draw the forehead to the knees, give yourself a nice big squeeze, take a huge inhale through the nose. And then exhale, release everything down to the ground. For Savasana, palms facing up to the ceiling. Relax the legs, allow the feet to fall open naturally. Close down the eyes. And then let go of controlling the breath. Try to let go of any tension that might still be lingering within the body. As you fall deeply into this Savasana. I'm going to close off this class in about 1 minute or so, but feel free to stay here for another 5 minutes. Enjoy a nice, long, peaceful meditation here in this corpse pose. I hope you enjoyed today's class, and I hope that I'll see you here on the yoga mat again soon. And as always, namaste, everybody.